Good morning. It's December 2026. Sorry, December 2025. I'm already thinking about next year, which is exciting. Every new year is exciting. But welcome to our weekly wrap. It's been a little while. We've been very busy. There's been a lot happening out of the factory and on site. I've got a job in Flinders, a big landscape project that wraps up before Christmas. So a lot of the guys have been down there helping. But in the factory, we'll have a quick chat on what's going on in here. This is our Sydney job. Our door panels, end door panels, we've brought them back and we've played with the end panel which scribes into the rock. So this is an actual, we'd templated it all prior and took it down and when we were installing, but you could see too much of the light source through the end with the scribe to the rock. So what we've done is we've remade those end panels, and then we have a brush seal that sits in the back here and follows that contour. So it brushes up and seals nicely to the rock face, and then it gives you that nice little shadow. So when you're looking in there, you can see the brush protrudes past the end, and that's the rock face. So it'll be sitting up hard against that. So it still reads as a shadow, and the black gives you a black background, and it enables the light source. You should not see the light source. So that's underway. There's two panels, a hidden panel on the end that removes with magnets. The other ones at the other end's got the climate control system, so it's a plenum box for the main feed into the room. The return air uses a plenum back to the rock, and the bench top is scribed to the stone line. So you've got like a 30mm gap all the way along. So that's like a full long plenum for the air back in. So that's that. If we spin around, we've got a table. This is a table set out. So same project. We've designed and building a table. So it's got I'll grab a picture of it actually. I think it's just here. We'll come back to that. We'll come back to that. But there's we'll come back to it. Let's keep moving. Pretty exciting little section down here. We're proud new owners of a Juki sewing machine. So we've had a bit of a playing with sewing with leather and bronze mesh, and we made the table tennis custom net, which is actually here. There's another video on that, but beautiful. We've played around a little bit with the bronze mesh, where we fold and do interlinking seams, and it's a beautiful material, and we're just playing with different applications in our line of work. And then we've sourced this beautiful leather from Lefler Leather in Melbourne, a company that's almost 100 years old. There's an interview on them and a walkthrough on their factory, which is coming out soon. But really interesting when you delve into small businesses and their evolution and history in Australia. And then Dan, Master Dan Sewing and Upholstery, and motor trimming. His background. We did an interview with him, and we spent a day making these nets and cutting these pockets and playing around with stitching and tensioning, and really delved into the sewing machine. So Juki sewing machine's a beautiful machine, Japanese, and as you know, we love Japanese things. So that we picked that up recently at an auction. It's a commercial grade. It's a double needle. Got some beautiful Japanese scissors. Our little thread trimmers. There's a bobbin rewinder here on the end. Servo motor. Reverse. You've got a foot pedal underneath, and reverse. You're still using your foot pedal, but you hold this button down and you're in reverse. or you can pop your thumb on that button and you're in reverse. Double needle, little light on the end. Nice setup, and looks like it's almost in new condition. So that's pretty excited about that, and we'll get to play around and have some fun with sewing. So that's ongoing. We've got some car parts here. So the Land Rover on the way back from Sydney, where we hit a kangaroo, all the parts are in now for that. So we'll have some fun playing around and repairing that. This is a gate from the Flinders project. So it's this would probably be, I reckon this gate would be somewhere in the 50 to 100 year old range, which is a big range, but it's an original gate on the end of their lane. So it was rotted out on the bottom. So we've brought it back to the factory here, and we've played around with a new bottom section and infilled, and then it's all been cleaned up and stained black. So that's coming along. We'll pop back next door. We've got racking here. There's a job going to Q, adding to their cellar. We've supplied the property before, so they're extending its capacity. And then here we've got in behind here we've got some shoji. So we're also doing a shoji cellar wall in the upper bar. So there's 6 layers of shoji there ready to go into joinery. So that's another job. So I think, what are we, the 4th of December at the moment? 25? We've got 3 weeks, 5th, sorry. So it's what, 3 weeks to Christmas coming along. Here's Nick for another day. It's a Friday, so we're excited about Fridays.
Fridays are good.
Fridays are good. We'll pop back over here. This is a table we've designed. So this is work in progress, but a big cylinder base with light pockets through, a big 1800 round diameter face, bench top, and this is all butcher block end. And then we've got a lifter that comes up with a light well in the middle with shoji. So it, that's going to look pretty nice, and you can pop this up with a little remote to different heights and get different effects of light over the table. So this is the set out. So when you're looking here, we've got the outer perimeter. We've decided to go with a 1900 top, or 1800 to 1900 tabletop. Base is going to be at 900, so we're coming out an extra 50 mil aside. So we're just playing around with line, radius points here, and then working back from there. So we've got a 300 difference from top to bottom, and that gives us, when you come over here and have a look, I don't know if you can pan down on that, but our lower section of this base will be sitting at 900 at the bottom, which is out of this line, and the top section up here is going to be at 600, which is the blue line. And then when you look at this side section here, that's finished floor level, finished table level. That's the angle of our barrel. So it'll be enough to appreciate, and the lines. It won't look straight, but it's not too out of or too steep. So we've also got to get mechanism and support and equipment in there for the lifting mechanism. So that's coming together. A few sort of play arounds with the design here. We're just looking at seat area. Normally you try and create like sort of a 500 inset for legs and feet when you're sitting at a table. We're also looking at board usage and getting the best yield out of boards. And the idea was to a diagonal cut through and leaving your preferred wider section at the bottom of the ring and the shorter at the top. So we've played with that. We're doing the male-female half overlap, which we do on our pedestal basins, but obviously be tapered. So we're now working on I think a 40 mil out of a 40 mil section at the bottom. So I think the coverage when you take out the male female gives you around the sort of 34 mil coverage. So it'll be out of a 40 mil piece at the bottom with the coverage coming up to like a thinner section on the top. I think it's about, we've still got to work out that exact thing, but I think it's about a 10 to 15 mil difference over that taper. Yeah, so that's a project that's coming together. So excited about that. You'll see that come together over time. We'll wander outside and we'll have a look at what's going on out there. These are some plants for Flinders. We've got the Chimeneas praecox, I think it's called Winter Sweet. It's a Japanese variety. And daisies, put together a wonderful plant list. But these are sort of a waxy flower, very evidently a lot of beautiful scent. So I'm pretty excited about seeing them grow over time. And then we've got some passion fruit that are obviously which are in high demand at the moment, so they're going down on a big creeper wall. And then we move out here. We're having a bit of a clean up this morning. You can see you're always getting leaf litter and blowing around. So we're just trying to get things looking shipshape and well cared for. Got the lawnmower. You can see the lawns need a little bit of care. So we'll show you footage on that in a second. But the ginkgo's looking very nice, and our little ground cover is creeping over, and things are looking good. So a bit of a tidy up this morning, and we'll feel good about the day. So and we've got here, I'll just go to this a second. Yeah, just got Kaya here, my daughter. She's come down to help do some maintenance, and we're going to do the lawns together. So without further ado, yeah. All right, we've had a big tidy up here, got rid of all the leaves. Front garden's looking beautiful. Kaya's hard at work, hand weeding. Beautiful day, summer's finally here. Kaya's rearranging some rocks there and some weeding that's gone on. Some recycled bricks for Flinders, for paths, edging. Looking good.